Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to another little preview, opinion, thoughts, whatever you want to call it, on Final Fantasy VII, a remake, since the demo just came out over on PSN and had a chance to actually give it a go. And if you haven't watched my playthrough of it, make sure you click up here into the cards and give that a watch after this. But here we are now with my overall opinion, letting it sink in a little bit, and getting into what I liked, what I didn't like, and honestly what I am hoping for the full release of Final Fantasy VII. So, let's hop on into this, shall we?
Alright, let's see if little Stamp really can bite the hand that feeds. Go on, do the honors.
So the demo itself was roughly about an hour long from beginning to end, and starting off literally right out of the gate with the first hour of the game, unedited, uncut, as you go from getting off the train in the beginning of Final Fantasy VII all the way up to the destruction of the Mako plant area. The fourth thing I noted right off the bat is pretty much how much more characters there are in it. Not that there is more characters, but like the characters themselves with Big and Wedge and Jazz and of course Barrett, they fan out the story a lot more and actually give the character a lot more to do than just one from point A, point B, set a bomb, call it a day. Which I am very, very happy with, especially now that this game is being broken up into multiple parts, with part 1 mainly taking part inside of the main city of Final Fantasy VII, and of course dealing with the aftermaths of what you do in the very beginning with the destruction of the Mako plant. So, right out of the gate, I have to say the character themselves is pretty much what I was honestly hoping, and pretty spot on to what they originally was, while along with adding a whole bunch of new character traits to them to elaborate on them and of course give you more content into what you are doing. And none of it really seemed all that much out of place at all. Everything seemed to make perfect sense, and everybody seemed to actually capture the tone I was hoping for when I hear such characters as Barrett or Cloud or Jess in my head while reading the original game. Now, with it being 100% completely dubbed over, we now have a more defined, version of the characters, and honestly, pretty much what I was hoping for and what I imagined the character being when I was doing my original playthrough of Final Fantasy VII a year or two ago. But not only have the character been expanded on, the combat has as well. Sadly, in the demo that we got to play, we did not get to meet with any materials or any of the summons, which I know roughly how that's going to work in the main game, thanks to pretty much everybody else giving their opinion that ended up going to grow in it and playing a lot more of the game than what we was able to play. But what we actually did get met with here is mainly the combat with Cloud, and then of course party combat with Barrett. And the game itself is way more actiony. I wouldn't say to the extent of such games as like Final Fantasy 15, but you can tell it a lot moving in that direction. Any of the combat is fairly quick for the most part, with a few interesting mechanics toward the end. Might it be between having to attack to build up your ATB gauge, with it you can use magic, item, and other ability tied to certain characters, right along with block and dodging. So the combat itself, any if it is a little quicker pace, never really feel like you get that much out of hand, especially early on playing as Cloud. But once you start introducing Barrett and you start getting into the main mechanic here, which is switching between the characters and giving each character pretty much commands and bouncing off of each other to take advantage of certain things, might it be with Cloud doing much more like close-up combat, and Barrett ended up fighting enemies that are out of reach for Cloud. And mixing and matching these is a lot of fun. The only main issue I went into the combat itself is mainly the camera angles. So the camera angles are not exactly the best, at least in the beginning part of the demo, mainly because the environments are very detailed and kind of clamped in a lot of ways. I can't say how well they're going to translate when we start getting farther and farther into the game. But there was a moment, especially once Bella joined the group, that ended up feeling a little more clunkier than I would like, mainly because the camera will randomly get stuck behind stuff, or the camera itself won't keep up with the combat nearly as good as it was when you were just Cloud. And of course, the lock-on system is very similar to like Dark Souls combat, where you put down the left stick to lock on an enemy and you can switch between. But as I was running into, not really issue, but fighting groups in a crowd, if you get too close to an enemy, at least in the demo that I discovered, is the lock-on will actually automatically change to whoever is closer to you, which is not ideal when you are trying to pick out certain enemies in a group. But to help out in this a little bit is, of course, another mechanic that we're going to do, which is, of course, Dagger, which is once you do X amount of damage to an enemy, a little ball will fill underneath their HP, which then will make them stagger and give you double damage every time you hit them, which help out a lot, especially when it comes down to trying to take down certain enemies and also to negate certain enemies while you're focusing on more important matters. And on top of that, you have another ball that love to load, which is, of course, your limit break, which it is similar to the way ATB work. The only difference is it does not fill up nearly as fast, but as you do damage, the gauge will slowly go up, and from there unlock a limit break from each of your party members of whoever you have selected at the moment. So the combat itself is seeming, from everything I have heard about how Aerith and Tifa play, I am very interested to see how they balance out, because it seems like each of the characters are playing completely different from each other, and you get a good vibe of that with Bella and Cloud in the demo. But at the same time, I can't help but worry that it might in return get a little more clunkier than I would like, and the camera itself might be a little bit of an issue. Hopefully that's something that ends up getting worked out by the time the full version comes out. Hopefully this is just an older build and everything is fine and dandy there, but it's still something that I'm keeping an eye on, and something that is making me a little bit worried about what is happening here. Probably could also impact some of the combat to make some of the combat not nearly as satisfying as it would be if you were just in a party alone. But outside of combat, we did get to see a lot of the environment we haven't. Like I said, the demo was roughly about an hour long, and we saw a decent amount of the environment. Might it be from avoiding traps to doing some light platforming stuff, and we also got a sense of the very first boss battle in the game with the Scorpion and how that actually worked out, with it being way more difficult than I was honestly thinking. The game seemed to honestly be pretty much putting you to the test when it comes to some of the boss battles. But with that being said, at the same time, I feel like the boss battles are going to be battles that the fourth time through will probably be very difficult. But as you learn and play the game multiple times to do all the other random thing that is supposedly ended with character choice and what was in Final Fantasy VII originally, it's safe to say the boss battles are gonna probably keep you on your toe pretty decent. And with the fourth battle that is in the demo, you really get a sense of how much there is like content in this, as far as the fighting with the bosses, with the combat, and how much new content added with new dialogue option and more story stuff toward in here, right along with a lot of new little gameplay features that have been added. Overall though, any of the demo was mainly going from point A to point B, setting a bomb, fighting a boss, and then leaving. The game itself have a little rough edges that I am worried about with the camera and with some of the clunkiness of it. But with that being said though, I am interested to see will they take the story, will they take the characters, and how much new content gonna get added to kind of fill out the universe of Final Fantasy VII. Hopefully we'll let Gat this time, hopefully. But we will see once the game actually comes out. For the time being, I wouldn't say I am over the moon hyped for it, But I do gotta say, I am very, very interested in seeing what they will do here. And as of now, Square Enix doesn't seem to be disappointing with what they are offering. So with that, if you haven't already checked it out, once again, you can check out my playthrough over here in the cards. Also link at the end of the video here, and also you can go play the demo yourself with it being available over on PSN right now, totally free for you to hop into for roughly the first hour of the game. So with that, I think that's gonna do it for me. That's my opinion of the demo as of now. I will see how we feel when the game comes out, and if you're interested in that, make sure you do the like, favorite, subscribe, hit some bells, you know what to do, and I will catch you all in the comments. So yeah, this is my life. Say hello to Diana. She an asshole.